There's a bunch of things I really love about my job. I really enjoy nerding out on buildings. And I love that I can tie that into the human aspect of things while also figuring out how best we can make a building more energy efficient. That mix of things is really enjoyable for me. I think home is a place where you choose to grow roots. And for my wife and I, that's Toronto. I love that the city is right on the water, and I love that it has 4 seasons. There's a Norwegian saying that there's no such thing as bad weather, there's only bad clothes. And I actually really enjoy the winter as well. I'm a senior building performance analyst here at Intuitive. We're full-service consultants for structural engineering, building envelope, and for sustainability. The biggest impact that Intuitive can have as an organization is on how buildings are designed and how we can enable our clients to achieve their sustainability goals. My job involves meeting with the design team and figuring out how best we can make a building more energy efficient. We build a calibrated 3D model of the actual building as it exists today, and then we run a bunch of simulations to see how it would perform over the course of a year. I guess I'm sort of a conduit to test different energy efficiency measures, if we need to improve the walls, if we need to improve the windows, maybe change the layouts of the building, have a look at the mechanical systems, are we using heat pumps, anything of that sort, and make sure that the project's hitting all of its energy targets as it goes through design. The Canobyl Tower is located in Hamilton. It's an 18-story tower built in the 1960s, and the city needed to figure out how to revitalize the project. So ERA architects, who we work really closely with, stepped in and worked with the city to try and make this a more energy efficient building and refurbish it at the fraction of a cost to rebuild it. It's ended up having a full building envelope upgrade. And when I say building envelope, I mean the walls, the windows, the roof, etc., a really airtight envelope. And that means there's much less heat loss or cooling loss in the summer. And so the buildings maintain their temperature for longer. It had a full suite of mechanical changes. So they got rid of all their gas systems, replaced it all with heat pumps. We had designed it to have nearly 94% greenhouse gas emission reduction, and it's the largest passive house certified project in North America. St Hilda's is another project that we worked on here in Toronto, again with ERA architects.
Hi, good to see you again.
There's a lot of these buildings still standing in Toronto, but there's a lot of them that were demolished. I don't think we had the science at that time to think about retrofitting, but now we're learning how to retrofit these buildings.
I think the biggest strength is that when you're retrofitting the building, you're keeping the superstructure, right? And so you're saving so much material that's really helping with just the embodied carbon of the space. And when you tell someone that you can reduce their carbon emissions by 90%, it just sounds like a made-up number, right? But it's possible.
It's astounding.
St Hilda's and Canobyl Tower are both projects that we are actually really proud of at Intuitive. They represent the kind of project we want to work on because they're retrofits of senior living facilities, and you actually get to have a tangible effect on people's lives. When you moved into this building after the retrofit, was it more comfortable for you?
Yes, because since I'm over here, I have not turned on my heat.
Right.
So it keeps the environment inside here very moderate, and for my plants.
Yeah.
So that's why they grow so well.
The benefits that I've seen for the senior residents living here, it's just nothing short of amazing. Not only are they lower energy bills and consumption, but all of the thought that went into creating a space that's centered around well-being.
When a space is not sufficiently ventilated, the air gets stuffy, and that's mostly just a buildup of carbon dioxide that hasn't been able to get flushed out of the space. That is what unhealthy air is, and so it's really important that a space be ventilated and ventilated well.
After going through COVID, upgraded airflow in the units was one of the most important components, especially for seniors. tenants before the retrofit only had heating, so there was no cooling and they couldn't do their own temperature gauging. There was not enough ventilation, and the retrofit program created that independent feeling inside of their apartment that they have control.
So I'd say the most inspiring thing about Intuitive's retrofit specifically is the fact that you're making the building more energy efficient and you just make it a nicer place to live. If you feel safe and comfortable in a space and you want to come back to it, that's what makes a home.